Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, we're talking about it's the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. But I had two videos lined up. I was going to do a live stream about the Westside Residences, and unfortunately, I loaded the Westside Residences live stream up tonight. It was supposed to be tomorrow, but it's playing tonight, so that's where we will go, along with our housing market, our real estate markets, and any other type of investments that we're going to need over the next few years. So, once again, welcome. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I want to thank you so much for being here. Please, again, share the videos because you never know who's looking for this information. Well, again, we weren't going to go here today, but make sure, again, you share the videos. This is regarding real estate, but as you know, on Monday nights, we talk about anything. This right here is Dominican Republic real estate investing. Westside Residences, and I guess I'll run some of what I was going to actually do tomorrow. So you guys are going to be privy to it. But first things first, make sure if you're going to invest in the Dominican Republic, we have our own SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum. It's going to be May 13th, 14th, and 15th. That's why you're supposed to come and check out the lay of the land early. Find out who the developers are early. Find out who you should have as an attorney or lawyer so they can look over paperwork early. Open up bank accounts because regardless if you buy anything or not, you should still have offshore banking possibilities at your disposal. Now, without further ado, let me see who's in the house tonight. It looks like Jawway J is here, and real estate investor himself extraordinaire. He's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. It's the Westside Residences alleged scam situation tonight in the Dominican Republic, Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. That's right. Some people have been watching our social media platforms. You guys know you cannot let evil go by. You can't be silent. And so that's what this looks like. But again, if you want to talk about anything regarding investment, stock market, housing, I was going to get into that tonight, but I opened up the wrong live stream because we have a little studio over here at EV Mux, and I didn't realize which one I clicked on. So you want to know what else? I just realized is that I have people over here on Instagram that's probably going to be seeing this as well. So I want to give a shout out to them and Twitch and There's some other places as well. Let me go check some things out. I don't even remember all the platforms I was supposed to be on. It looks like the Twitch, the Facebook, all over the place. And everybody here, let's go check Jawway J's tagline. Hello, SSN Nation. Hope everyone is doing well. Receive notification and smash that like button. He gave it a 1 piece. That's right. You have to give it a 1 piece. We're about to have another little cold chill down here in the southeast. What do I mean by that? I mean you're going to need your coffee and tea. And if you need coffee or tea, where do you go? You go to beachfrontjava.com. We got to show some love for our own Professor Auntie Val and family. Beachfrontjava.com and use the promo code, all capital letters, SSN Lifestyle. Just like that SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum. You go sign up at stopstrugglingnow.com or ssnlifestyle.com. But with the Beachfront Java, whole bean, fine ground, drip ground, and cure reg. And after your first order, when you use that SSN Lifestyle, all caps, after your first order, you will receive discounts for life. And if you do happen to come May 13th, 14th, and 15th, and you do go sign up now, it does not include airfare. It does not include your hotel. You should stay in the Los Corrales area. Why? Because that's where you're less than 5 minutes from the beach. You're less than 5 minutes from restaurants, bars, nightclubs, and casino. What more do you want? Beach clubs as well. So we usually stay in that area because the rest of Punta Cana hasn't really been built out yet. Downtown should be good in about another year, and other locations. Now, go over stopstrugglingnow.com, ssnlifestyle.com. Get your tickets today because after the first 5 people, then prices go up. Okay, now we're going to go also during the SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum. We go see the lawyers. That's true. We also go check out some projects so you'll get the lay of the land. We're definitely going to Vista Cana. So you might as well put that on your list. And then another location or two could be out at Cana Bay, could go out to Michis, could go out to Uvera Alto. Just never know. Because 3 to 4 months from now, there may be some new promotional sales going on, and you may want to go check out a few places. Then on the third day, it's your banking. We make sure you get your banking pre-approved before you come on the island. So therefore, even if you are on the island, we'll still get you pre-approved, but it's better if you start it already. So that way you can open up a bank account within an hour to 2 hours versus 5 to 7 hours. It's that simple. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see. I'm going to have to put something on the screen here. I'm going to do a couple of things because now I'm going to have to get into my YouTube. Let's see here. I'm going to go with this one. Hold on here. I'm going to go with this one first. This is a lady that is only one lady. Look, oftentimes what's weird about a lot of things in business, you have people who are, for all intents and purposes, feeling like they're losing their money. And so they start complaining, whether it's on Facebook groups or like on YouTube or any other complaining that's verbally on the developer's website or the developer's not Check, check, mic check. Check, check, mic check. Money Making Monday live stream, but this is the Westside Residence Problems Edition. I was gonna actually have a live stream for this separately, but I accidentally clicked on this one other than our normal live stream for the night. So I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but that's how it goes. And so I have to throw down post-retirement travel. Hello all, let's do this is his tagline. Still from Costa Rica until Saturday, then heading down to Peru and Argentina. Investments are paying for it. Exactly, that's what I like to hear. Big smile on all of our faces for you. So you gotta love it. Also, Tamara Larry, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream, the West Side edition. And an investor in the DR, ladies and gentlemen, as well. So that is awesome. We have a few investors in the house. So let's start this off, shall we? All right. Hopefully I don't get my mic shut down. Let's go. We're way out of here. All right, here we go. We talked about this the other day.
Hello, everyone. I normally wouldn't do something like this unless I have to, but I have to put the word out and to let you guys know as a warning, if you are thinking of purchasing a home or having a home built in Punta Cana, do not use Westside Residents. They are scammers. They cannot be trusted. They will take your money and leave you high and dry. Scammed out of my deposit. I have not heard back from this company after making several calls requesting updates. The process is putting down a deposit and they will begin the work on laying the foundation and to start building your home. I did this.
Listen, this right here is going to be very interesting because once again, this has always been one of the things that people, no matter where you do pre-construction properties, are concerned about. Now, this is why reputation of the builder does matter oftentimes. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. But this is the only person that I could find that actually made a video. The other two videos, I found another one, are actually by news organizations. Now, I am sure that the developer has probably tried to copyright strike or do something against the video, which did not work. And then, of course, they probably tried to threaten defamation. Now, I find it very interesting that somebody would do this. But let's continue with what she has to say. But I just want to let you guys know what's going on, why you don't see more of this.
I put a deposit down because I wanted to build a home for my parents that own land in Punta Cana. And my family, my parents, have tried reaching out to this company, and no one has returned our calls. Do not use this company. Please do not, because I do not want you to go through the same thing that I'm going through right now. And I'm just now finding out that there are several people that have lost a lot of money using their services to build a home, which their home was built, but they're actually having to come out of pocket more money.
This is right. What she's saying is basically, that, let's just say you purchased the villa for 75,000. Doesn't really matter the number. Once it's completed, they're telling people, oh, you're going to owe us like $99,000. 50-60% increases in price, which is crazy. Once again, this is a guy named, and I'm going to tell you what it is because I'm going to show you guys something. Joan, I thought was a female, but it's Joan Fernando Gonzalez Contreras. Okay? And I'm going to show you the beach, the DT Beach contract. And I'll show you why here shortly after we get done with this video. All right? So you guys will see for yourself. Everything will start lining up here after we watch her do her thing.
To repair their home based on poor material, cheap material that were used to build their home, homes that are built on ground level. So every time it rains in Punta Cana, water seeps inside the home, causing major damage to the home. Please do not use this company. They cannot be trusted. They are scammers. I do not want you to go through what I'm going.
All right. This is exactly. I will say this again. What happens is when people go over to the DR, I suggest you go to make sure that you go check the lay of the land, you go look at the property. Also, it does not hurt that you go during rainy season or any other time of year because it's an island. Just because everything is dry, January, February, March, April, May, June-esque, then starting July, August, all of a sudden you can start having these rains for a day or two, longer hours of rain, but definitely September, October, and November. So you should probably go between November and October, November, somewhere in that range. You'll hit a couple of days of rain. That way you can go out in the mud, in the dirt, and go see what happens when it rains and where the buildup is. You'll know. These are part of your investing anyhow, so that way you understand what the possibilities are. I know where Westside is. I went to Westside. I just didn't like their project, but the prices were so cheap at the time, just like Christopher, just like Epic, and they're doing the same thing that Christopher and Epic and those guys did. But this is why we tell you to go with a developer that has none of these records, like this Joan Fernando, whatever his name was, Gonzalez Contreras. They have a history. And so they did Westside. They also did the beach. You know, the beach is way late as well. They started off at the beach. So I'm pretty sure what's going on at Westside, I'd be willing to bet you there's some lawsuits that have come from the beach as well. It's just that, again, a lot of people, because when you give people money, some people don't like talking about it. As you guys know, I give people money, and if they don't do right, I'm still talking about them, because not letting people know that there's a possibility of problems just because you might be out 20, 30 G's, that's no reason to be silent, being part of the problem. All right. So let's hear what else she has to say.
Going through right now. Money that I have lost. Please do not use them. I just wanted to put the word out there to warn you guys. I don't use them. Please do not use them. Thanks.
I love Sky Love, ladies and gentlemen. Sky Love. That's who this is. I see what the problem is right now. Okay, Sky Love is who this person was or is. And I'm about to show you guys some other stuff. We'll get into it tonight.
Deja
Oh,
todo lo que
it's
estés
gonna be a little
haciendo.
different.
Y
Hold on. Let's get this off. No, I don't want to get it off. Just a second. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you guys this. So you'll see, this is DT, the beach. All right. So let me get it on screen. I thought I had it. We'll go to the contract. Here's one of the contracts for the beach. Okay. Let's get it on screen a little bit bigger, right? Look at that. Look. Here it is. Say, here's some of the principles, right? In all caps. Joan Fernando Gonzalez Contreras. I don't know this guy. Jorge Luis Enriquez Villarreal. All right. Now, this is why, starting about a year and a half ago, I started collecting. If somebody said they wanted to do some business or something, I started collecting. I would ask them for their ID. I need to see passport, cedula. I want to see what you look like. Because some of these people are walking around still doing deals, but nobody knows who they are because nobody sees contracts unless you purchased. So if you don't see contracts unless you purchase, these guys can keep going to sell, just like Westside, and they were selling at the beach. The beach had problems, but you didn't realize it was Westside having problems as well. And then at the beach, they're having problems. And then you find out that they might have been doing business. They still could be doing business on the island somewhere because they're suing people for defamation. Like I said, they got nerve. I swear. I mean, in fact, I'll be surprised if something doesn't happen on my side. But I just wanted to let you guys know. And also, since this is one of the beach contracts, let me see something real quick. Is this the one that they actually added the 25%? Because I made a video about this to warn people before about, no, I can't find it on here, where it was 25% increase. Yeah, here goes something weird. Buyer will pay 4% of annual indemnity interest. This is crazy. But there was up to 25%. And that's when I sounded the alarm. I was like, how do you do a fourth of what a person buys something for? And sure enough, they did 20% increase. So this is why you normally would have an attorney, especially for these guys you don't know nothing about. And so that's the problem. So I just want to show you the name so people would recognize the name, because after I do this next video that's coming up, you're going to see this is from Jose Peguero. This is going to be very interesting right here because Oh, you guys didn't see the contract. Damn. Thought I had it up. I did have it up. What happened? That's interesting. All right. So EV Mux, there's the contract. So I guess I'll have to show a little. So I'll go look down here again. There was something about 25%. Crazy. They changed their contract in 2020. I think it was at the end of 2021 that they put this 25% increase in pricing, which during the pandemic, it's kind of understandable, but they were doing way too much because I was actually going to buy at the beach, but as things turned out, did not happen. And what happened was they started changing the price within like a week. So something that was 205 all of a sudden went to 235. A few days later, it went to 255. And so those are red flags. Just like it was ridiculous. So it turns out after all the extra stuff and they canceled and changed something in their other section. And we had a couple people here. We do have one person in the SSN Nation, maybe a couple, maybe two, that have purchased at the beach, and they have a penthouse unit that is awesome. I mean, it ended up being awesome. Things worked out, but as far as I know, they pretty much did some other things, such as had somebody else build it or somebody else came in to bail them out. I don't know exactly the situation. I don't really care. But what we're going to do right now is come over here and I'm going to play this. So now you guys know some of the players, right? Got the players for you. It's like bigger for you. A little delay. All right, you guys should be able to hear this. Check this out. This is a promo.
He estado en la clínica 2 veces porque me siento engañada, o sea, nadie, Fernando González, es Grupo Paseo. En Chile no pasa eso, no pasa, no, cero posibilidad. Y yo confié en República Dominicana. ¿Por qué? Porque es un país que vive del turismo. Yo llegué a dar más de $90,000 y nunca se construyó, nunca empezó un avance. Después cambió la versión y llegamos a 60,000. Pero para eso yo tenía que firmar un desentimiento. Dos oportunidades, mandé dinero y el dinero nunca llegó porque tenían la cuenta cerrada y después me dieron otra. O sea, es una estafa por donde se mire. Lo único que pido es que me devuelvan mi dinero.
Amigos, bienvenidos a las exclusivas de José Peguero. María José Salazar se encuentra en Santiago de Chile e hizo una inversión que supera los $90,000.
All right, so that's one victim of circumstance. Unfortunately, I couldn't get this up on the screen for you so you can actually read it. But I'll have a link. Hold on. Did I put the link for the other one? All right. So what I'll do, I'll replay on this one. Let's go back. So you guys who speak Spanish do not
Estaba en la
understand
clínica 2
right
veces
now.
porque
Oh, wow. Okay, here's what I'll do.
bueno, la constructora es de Joan Fernando González, es Grupo Paseo. En Chile no pasa eso, no pasa, no, cero posibilidad. Y yo confié en República Dominicana. ¿Por qué? Porque es un país que vive del turismo. Yo llegué a dar más de $90,000 y nunca se construyó, nunca empezó un avance. Después cambió la versión y llegamos a 60,000. Pero para eso yo tenía que firmar un desentimiento. Dos oportunidades, mandé dinero y el dinero nunca llegó porque tenían la cuenta cerrada y después me dieron otra. O sea, es una estafa por donde se mire. Lo único que pido es que me devuelvan mi dinero.
Amigos, bienvenidos a las exclusivas de José Peguero. María José.
All right. So you guys can see how this works out. So you see, like I said, I had to replay that because I wanted you guys to understand that's one person. I'm going to fast forward because I wasn't going to do this one. I was going to do a different one, but I'm going to fast forward where she's talking most of the time. Let's go so you guys will hear what they're saying.
Es Grupo Paseo. Específicamente, el proyecto que yo invertí es de Westside Punta Cana. Esto partió en el 2020, aproximadamente en mayo, que me puse a buscar proyectos para poder invertir en República Dominicana, ya que mi marido es dominicano residente en Chile con residencia definitiva, y nuestro sueño de vida era irnos a vivir allá. Empecé a buscar, el proyecto estaba en varios sitios, estaba en Mercado Libre, lo tenían muchos brokers, y al final me quedé con la brokers que me dio más confianza.
¿Cuál fue esa? Y si se encontraba aquí en la República Dominicana o se trata de una venta internacional.
No, ella se encontraba en República Dominicana.
¿Y cómo fue ese primer contacto entre ustedes y si esta le inspiró?
All right. So okay. Check, my check. Come on. So I just want to play this first section for you so you guys can this. Check, mic check. Check, mic check. All right. Let's get down. Hold on. I need to do something else in the background. Mute. All right. Fine. That'll work. Okay. So now we're going to go to a different. This is the other news channel. Oh, in fact, I shouldn't forget that either. We're going to go to another news channel. Let me make sure this is still up. Yeah, it's still up. Where's it at? Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. We'll have another one. Check this out. I wanted to leave a link for you guys in the chat room, by the way. Let's go. Looks like we have a little delay. I know I'm gonna have to make a normal video. All right. So what I'll do is I'll check and see if we have. So I know I'm not going to do this live. I'm actually going to make this tomorrow then, because I don't know why. But I'm going to stop over at a couple spots. Let me see if this matters. Mic check, mic check. It's not liking any of this. All right, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, looks like, what the young lady lost. Here we go. Post-retirement travel, very good from to give everyone a heads up. Truly appreciate that. Yeah, and you know what? It's from a year ago that she did that. It's crazy. Crazy. Unbelievable. Oops. You guys can't hear me. Wow. This is terrible. Terrible. This is terrible. Terrible. Default. Terrible. This is crazy. Check, check. Mic check. Check, check. Mic check. Output. Mic. No. All right. Hold on. This is crazy. Mics are out. Let's see. Speakers. Mic check. Mic check. Not working. Check. Okay. No words getting out tonight. This is crazy. Mic check. Can't do a double. All right. Fine. Do it this way.
su contra de personas que alegan invirtieron sus ahorros de toda una vida y aún están con las manos en una pesadilla inmobiliaria.
El solar de donde está línea 100 tiene que ser una beta que está en construcción por ahí.
Enércida Félix visitaba lo que sería el sueño de toda su vida. En febrero de 2020. Justo un mes antes del inicio de la pandemia.
Ahorita mismo parémonos aquí.
Sueño que con la ayuda de su hija
I just figured I'd go lower on the picture.
estaba a punto de hacerse realidad.
Era un proyecto que era prometedor en ese entonces. Era un proyecto en plano. Luego de eso ellos ofrecían piscina, parque ecológico. Era un proyecto de 3 etapas. Yo compré en la primera etapa. Mayo del 2019 ya yo decido que voy a firmar contrato.
Se refiere al proyecto Westside Residences, Punta Cana, a cargo de la compañía Grupo Paseo, empresa que según su registro mercantil emite de proyectos urbanísticos, como también edificaciones de apartamentos, registrada a nombre de Joan González y Adela Mota, ambos en calidad de gerentes.
El precio total era $176,000. Entonces quedamos que si yo hacía pago de $10,300, yo iba a tener un descuento de un 5% por pronto pago.
En su
That guy. Oh man, it's bad. Okay. Bad. Mic check, mic check. All right, I'm not going to keep fighting this tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I will get into doing a video specifically tomorrow, which will be a little smoother. I'm not going to do a live stream. There are government agencies from post-retirement travel that could handle fraud cases like this. Unfortunately, that is what I was about to get into if this would have played out properly. There are people that have put in lawsuits. The problem is they use lawsuits as a negotiation tactic. That is the problem. This Joan Gonzalez, whatever his name is, he's part of the developer team. They say, take us to court as a arbitration type of thing. So in other words, you have to sue them, spend thousands of dollars to obtain a lawyer. So the government agencies do not help. There are a couple of government agencies that people go to But ultimately, you still need a lawyer that you're going to pay, and you're still going to have to go through months, if not years, of litigation. And again, they use it as a tool. So in other words, you sue them, then they go into negotiation. They say, well, I'll just give you a preview. You can pay for the land. You can have somebody else build it as part of this. Like the amount of money you put down pays for the land, right? And then you can find somebody else to build it. That gives them an option. And so this guy, Joan, and his team, whoever it is, they make you that offer or you get nothing. So it's like you're strong-armed. And yes, you could possibly win, which somebody apparently got a little bit of money back or something happened, which we'll get into. You'll just have to wait till tomorrow when I actually make the video, first part anyhow. And this is what they've been doing. And like I said, just like that lady that had a video out, she's the only one that's from a year ago. These two news organizations are the other, but they are suing people for defamation. After people are on, like I said, their Facebook group, and they would show people like, here's my payments. They would show receipts showing all payments made. And then they would sue them for defamation, which I thought this was just effed up. This is some United States BS that they're doing over there with these developers, right? And so that's what we're dealing with. And there's no government agency that actually helps the individual expeditiously. What do I mean? I mean, if somebody has paid all of their payments and the developer is still breathing, right? Still acting like he's running business. Why haven't you shut them down? Why aren't they in jail immediately? And especially when you have more than 5, 10, 15 people who are complaining, and they know they're allowing them to use it as a tool for arbitration instead of a resolution. They're saying, just sue us. And then, like I said, it's so freaking disgusting. They're trying to do defamation against people speaking out. So I could be one of them. But who knows? I don't know why they would waste their time. But the point of the matter is, that's what's actually going down. It's crazy. That young lady lost $90K, probably her life savings. It was. That's so disgusting. So sorry for her. Exactly. It's terrible what's going on with Westside Residences and people that were at the beach as well, because they were part of the beach as well. The lady appeared in Nuria Piera show. One of the most well-known investigative reporters in the Dominican Republic didn't know this. It's all over YouTube. Thanks for sharing. I didn't know that. I don't know who knew Nuria Piera. So I will add that person to my list, or to their list, because this has got to stop. Like I told you guys last year, there's people out here messing up this thing of ours when it comes to real estate, and they're blatantly doing it. And this seems to be blatantly doing it, and they're still breathing. This is, I can't even believe this, really. But I do believe it, because most people are hardworking individuals. And so they're actually trusting, after you pay, let's say $1,500 per month, or $2,500 per month, or $3,500 per month, and you see a little bit of building going on, you're not thinking anything bad. You're going, oh my God, yes. It's about time that, there it is. Oh, she came up. Nuria Piera. Let's go Westside. Punta Cana. Let's see if we'll have a third. Again, who would know about these? Remember, they're in Spanish. First of all, yes, I found her channel. But this is from 9 years ago, but it has nothing to do with Westside. Oh, yes, she had something else that I looked at one time for something. I can't remember what it was. All right. Yeah, see, she didn't even come up on the Westside search. So that tells you right there that hardly, people who are There's somebody that's actually promoting Westside as we speak, trying to get people to buy some Westside property from a few days ago. So I don't know how long ago. And again, there's no way to search on the channel because they don't have titles that say Westside. So that's why it didn't come up. So how else would somebody search? So if you can find it, please send me an email at support@stopstrugglingnow.com. Support@stopstrugglingnow.com. And I'm just going through in the background. I'm going through some of her videos, but again, there's nothing that would indicate something that has to do with Westside at all. I'll put it in on the channel just to see, but so far, nothing. Nope, there's nothing. So this is why a lot of people don't know about it. That would be from English-speaking countries. Yeah, see, there's nothing from her. Maria Piera, she has 537,000 subscribers. So that must be who you're referring to. That's terrible. Brian P. Mr. Dividend is in the house. He says we can't hear you. I know, man. I've been having all kind of problems switching over. This thing started doing, I don't even know what it's doing, quite frankly. It's kind of crazy. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with a change. Westside Residences scam, allegedly. And so therefore, I actually put on the wrong live stream for today. Happy day, Eric brings his tagline. I hope all is well with you. Happy day, SSN family. Smash that like button. That's right. Give it a one piece up in here, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned for tomorrow. I'm definitely going to be dropping part 1 of the Westside story. And if I can find Maria Piera, send me an email if you can find Maria Pereira. Her video, send it to me. I'll add that. That means I'll have 4 videos that I'm going to bust out. Part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. And like I said, I have a little bit of history with these developers because I was checking out the beach. We had a few other people. George's Charles was checking out the beach. And around that same time is when things got a little weird because they were supposed to have a hotel at the beach and a bunch of shops like a spa, a vet room, and things like that. And that went bye-bye. They were supposed to have a free shuttle from the beach to the, what's that beach club? I forgot the name of the beach club. But anyhow, Pearl Beach Club, that was supposed to be free. And then it turns out people, if there was a shuttle, would have to pay for it. Then there's all kind of things that started happening. And it had to do with the same developers of Westside. But Westside was built first, or started first. So nobody knew that there would be a problem because everything's going fine until 3 years goes by. Until delivery dates come up and you go past it and you're like, what's going on? So once again, make sure you smash that like button. Your audio was good a moment ago and now we can't hear you. Exactly. All kind of crazy. That's why I had to stop because clearly interference. Eric, people like this will mess around with the wrong person one day and they're going to get really hurt. If you know what I mean. I know exactly what you mean. That's what I'm saying. This is the thing right here. There's a reason all these guys do this. I'm going to put it to you plain and simple. It's just like when I had my experience in 2024 dealing with all these clowns over in the DR. They're sitting there going, okay, even if you're Dominican, it doesn't matter, right? Most Dominicans who are investing there, not most, but a large percentage of live outside of the DR. They can come back home, but they don't really live there. And they're in some other country making money more than you would make in the DR. So they're thinking, oh man, this would be great. I can go back home. I get to invest. It'll be awesome. And then you have the American citizens and the European citizens that they know aren't going to be there. They don't live there. All they're going to do is send their money, go back home, and now nobody even knows what they even look like. You can walk right by the developers on the street. You could be partying with these guys and not even know it's them. So they are like almost anonymous. And so that's why I always ask now, I need to see IDs, cedulas, passports. I need to have all your info. So a lot of times these developers will not send it to you. They won't give you the info. It's crazy. So then I'm like, I can't talk about your project then. That's my cutoff right now. I'm like, I'm not talking about your stuff no more. Or if I find out, like with the Vistancia, I'm talking with Ralph. I thought originally he was part of the development team. Come to find out, he's almost like a salesman. That's all I can say about it. And then now he goes bye-bye. And now Vistancia Caribe seems to be a little problem. So same thing is happening. The guys in Punta Cana, a couple of developers said, hey, why don't you promote me? I asked them for their info. No info coming. Just like with Vistancia, no info coming. I was like, okay, can't do you guys no more. Can't talk with you guys anymore. Had to erase the videos. So this is what happens nowadays. When you leave the island, they know you're gone. So what can you do? You can call up Johan, Glenme, any other attorney and be like, hey, man, I'm not getting my money or getting my project. I can't get any information. And now they have to go do something. And then needless to say, they may do something out of courtesy because you are a client. But if they have to do more, they're going to have to charge you something. Right? And so, again, it's a shame what I'm watching. You guys will be disgusted when you see this tomorrow. Like I said, I might just run a whole video and then slice it. I don't know if I'm going to how I'm going to do it yet, but it's going to take, this is 2.5 hours. If I can find Naria stuff right now, it's about an hour between the two broadcasts, plus my commentary that's going to be on it. Cause I'm going to actually show some paperwork. Like I said, I'm going to show the contract for the beach, which is the same developer as Westside. Original developer. I think they changed because otherwise it wouldn't have been built. But that's why nothing has happened to these guys, because they're just like, sue me. And most people who invest, they're not about mayhem, right? They're just hardworking individuals. They don't have any problems with law. They don't have any problems. They grew up in a nice middle class type of environment or lower middle class. It does not matter unless you're a gang banging fool or a person that has been involved in that type of environment. Then that's the only way that you're going to go looking for people. Otherwise, ordinary citizens aren't looking for people, right? Plus, you don't have anything. It's not like you're going to be carrying weapons on the plane. Sure, you can, but you're going to be getting hemmed up at the airport. And you'll probably get hemmed up on arrival as well. But that's the whole difference, right? They know all it's going to be is lawfare. That's it. It's just going to be law. It's just going to be some legal paperwork. Oh, and then they can stall, right? They don't have to do anything because it's in their favor. They already collected the money. So since they have your money, you're the one that has to spend more money to get your money. So they have another advantage. And then they go to court acting like, oh, well, see, this is this and that and the other. And, oh, see, Your Honor, we're willing to work something out, Your Honor. And you're like, what do you mean work it out? It's too late. I already gave money to you. There's no working out nothing at that point. That's just me. All right? That's just me. Because one day, everybody snaps. I have this, let's just call it, like I've told you guys before. You guys have seen me on here for 5.5 years, but I can tell you stories. But you guys aren't going to know everything about me for the previous 30 years or the previous 10 years, nor do you know of anybody the previous years. So therefore, these guys are playing Russian roulette, in my opinion, because you don't know who is investing in your projects. So when we send money in, it's clean money. Everything is fine. Your Social Security, your passports, everything's good. But you really don't know who people really are if you push them. Sometimes you can push somebody too far and then they snap. But again, most people who are investing in Dominican Republic property are just ordinary citizens. Every now and then you F around and find out that some people aren't just ordinary citizens, and that's when things are going to get kind of dicey. So some people may be watching this that may owe me money, things are going to get dicey. Let's just put it that way. I'm like Muslims. I'm like the Islamic faith. If we're going to have a battle, and I don't mean by words, I don't mean by keyboards, I don't mean by anything, I tell you, it ain't no surprise. So when you see me, and we have a problem after I told you we had a problem, I may talk to you at that time because that's only right. I'll tell you at that time, but that's when the ultimatum comes. Right now, I don't believe in law. I don't believe in going to court. See, that's the difference. Because to me, I'm a believer of this. If you owe me 20 grand, if you owe me 30 grand, I believe in putting a bounty on your head. I'm sitting here and wherever I'm at, I don't really give a damn. I'd rather spend the money on a bounty on your head than giving it to a lawyer. I don't play like everybody else plays. So I'm just telling you straight out, this is what he's talking about. You got to understand there's people in this world who aren't just business people. And all business people, all bad guys are business people. They sell drugs, right? They traffic people. They do fraud. They do illegal activities. They still do business, though. That's what people do not understand. So you never know some guy who's just investing in who has legal money, not illegal money, straight legal money, all tracked by the IRS or wherever they're from. But you don't know who these people know and who they know. And then the worst part is, since these guys don't know about mayhem other than what you hear about in Haiti, where you have the gangs and things like that, they don't understand that when you have a nation where people make like $24,000 a year, and that's depending on who you're talking to. Some people would say in the DR, most people make like less than $10,000 a year. So when you have that, it's amazing what $2,000 or $3,000 will do. And these guys are clowning around like everything's all good until it's not. That's the difference. So one of these days, I'll get into something. I don't know how I'm going to tell you, but I'll have to tell you guys some stories. But that's Friday night. So you're going to have to wait till Friday night because we're going to have on Cornbread's going to be on Friday night. And he just told me about a story that he called me up and said that there was a place that we used to go on the river in Sacramento that was $35, $30. We're talking like 30 years ago. It was like, and I guess that was probably a little bit more than usual for a buffet at the Grand Island Mansion in what is it, West Sacramento. So we started talking about some of those things, and man, it gets kind of wild because I forgot all about this stuff that we used to do. So, but it's all fun and games because we went on what you would call a double date. He went out with this girl. I'm going out with this girl. We're like, hey, let's go down to this Grand Island Mansion buffet, but he actually went there before and knew about it. And so then, because they liked him, and then of course, at the time, I'm a cool guy, so they give us run of the house of the mansion, and what people come in, they eat, they do whatever, but downstairs is a whole ballroom. It's crazy. And not only that, what made it so cool is behind the bar downstairs, it looks just like a bar with walls. The walls actually open. And because it's by the river, there's a tunnel that actually goes out to the river and you can get on your boat on the river. So if you ever got raided at the spot back in the day, you would leave, close up the wall. It looks just like, okay, there's a bar downstairs, dance floor and all that. But they're out at the river getting in the boat, leaving. Across the street, which is the other thing. It's kind of wild. But anyhow, that's part of the story. Yeah, you'll hear maybe something like that. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Me and him got history. We got a lot of history. We could be on for 5, 6, 7 hours probably, but we're not going that long, ladies and gentlemen, on story night. He couldn't do it, but I got to make sure we can do this. But yeah, that's the deal right there. And you know what? I'm shocked, quite frankly, with all of the mayhem that has happened over there with several of these developers. I am shocked there hasn't been news of somebody getting hurt or some office problem or something. I mean, I am shocked because I know one guy that's from New York, but he's Dominican. He invested over now 2 years ago. He's given the person over $100,000 and he's paying lawyers. I'm just like, I couldn't say it, but I'm just like thinking in my head, I'm like, why would you give lawyers like 10, 15, 20 G's? That's bounty money as far as I'm concerned. That's crazy to me. So I don't get it, man. I really, really don't get it. I don't get it. So we will see how this all plays out. But I'm pretty sure over time, sooner or later, you're going to cross somebody that you should not cross and owe money back to and playing this thing about sue us. Like I said, I'm not in the suing business because I don't have time to wait around a year, 2, 3, and then the court says, oh, well, you know, there's this in the contract. There's maybe this, you know, give them a little bit more time. I'm like, time? Here's what the contract says. I give you money. You build this unit. There's nothing else to be said here. I give you money. You're supposed to build a unit in 2025, September 2025. Okay. 6 months later, 2 years later, you still have 60% of the money or 50% of the money, and you're still suing people so they don't talk about it, that you're 6 years behind or something. I mean, this is crazy. This is real crazy right now. And the Dominican Republic themselves should do something about it. But again, this is that infrastructure problem that I was talking about before. They don't want to do any infrastructure. So again, part of the infrastructure problem is you need a system that you make sure that investors are safe. That's what you need to do. You can't do this, I'm going to take your money and I'm just going to blatantly be like, just sue me then. Otherwise, you're not getting nothing back. And then you got to go to court and pay an attorney even more money. Spend some time going back and forth on a plane. That's why they know most of the time they can get away with this. I'm going to do nothing. You can sue me and we'll see where the chips fall. The chips are generally going to fall with they'll pay a few thousand and then their attorney will be like, well, I need another few thousand and we got to roll over and it's 6 months later. So you got to come back in 6 months. You're wasting all this time, energy, and money for no damn reason, in my opinion. So we will see. All right, we got somebody over here doing something crazy. Shelter Red, he's saying something. So I'll have to just deal with that. What? What? What are you talking about? That's interesting. Okay. That's funny. They said I can't do that, really? Wow. That's interesting. Well, I'm sad that I couldn't actually play some more of the video because you would have seen just those. What did you see? You saw 3 people. There's more. Of course there's more, because if they're doing it to 1, 2, or 3 people, you know there's 20 or 30 people they're doing it to. It's just that 20 or 30 people, they're not making videos. I don't know why. They're not talking about it in English to anybody. I don't know why. But don't worry. We can't let evil keep going because they're messing up this thing of ours on the island. This was a great opportunity, is a great opportunity for people. People already have made so much in regards to equity already in the last 5, 6 years. People are still getting additional equity for their properties right now. So this little situation, any type of negative activity hurts any other builders who are legitimate. Now, I'm not saying these guys are totally illegitimate, but it seems like if you have 30, 40, 50 people talking about, you know, you kind of stole my money and you got people suing you, and not just in one project, but I'm pretty sure the other project as well, that's pretty crazy for you to do defamation. and acting like you're doing everything okay when your delivery dates were 2021, 2022. And here it is 2025 or 2024. And you're sitting there acting like, oh, yeah, no big deal. We'll work it out with them. Work it out. I'm like, how? If you don't deliver the product, then that's no working out nothing. Giving me land after you didn't finish what you're supposed to do, then trying to charge me more. What kind of crazy is this? That's all I can see. Craziness has to be dealt with, ladies and gentlemen, harshly. Somebody has to be an example, right? That's how it works. Then people start taking it a little seriously. I remember that time when that guy that plays for the Boston Red Sox, Ortiz, was sitting somewhere at a bar and he got shot. See? It's interesting that it didn't have nothing to do with baseball, didn't have nothing to do with investing. It had something to do with personal issues, right? But see, that's the whole thing. I take it personally when people try to rip off other people and jack people, right? I take it personally. So I'm surprised that nothing has happened. But then again, we wouldn't know because they're not going to put that on the news, right? They're not going to report that too much. All right, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Since it's Money Making Monday live stream, make sure you guys understand. You got to be in the real estate game. You got to be in the business of making money game. You have to be in stock market, real estate, gold, silver, crypto. You have to be in all of it. Why? Because the wealthy are in all of it now. Wherever they go, you should go. The stock market actually rising when they know there's only going to possibly be one rate cut this year. They know there's inflation incoming. Anytime you have tariffs and uncertainty, you know what's going to happen. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, happening. By the way, since I have this on, I can take this off now. I had it on the whole time. I was kind of liking the way I look with the headphones on. I was kind of liking that. So the only thing I wasn't liking is that I couldn't play any of the videos. That was a bummer. But it's okay. I'm going to try a different way to do this. And by the way, let's see. In fact, why don't I do it? No, that's not going to help us about that. Let me go see what's happened today. Let's go see. There we go. CNBC. Here we go. Here we go. Trump signs order to impose 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum. And then they're saying, here are the likely winners and losers. Okay, I don't know what winners mean unless you mean some stocks. Because that means somebody's going to win because the price of incoming steel, which would mean Chinese steel, which is cheaper than U.S. steel, which is very interesting because now you raise the price of the steel, but the U.S. made steel is already more. So now you don't have a cheaper alternative. So that means the U.S. and the Chinese steel is going to rise. So the winners are going to be on the stock market. So again, this is why you should study the stock market to go find out, because it's a nice article by CNBC. And in fact, I'm not going to bring it up, but well, I should. Yeah, I should, because it's static. Shouldn't have a problem. It's not like it's a video or anything. Check it out. So when we bring it up, let's see. What's going on? What else do I need to tip down here? Westside. Oh, we searched. Okay. No love once again. Can't get no love, man. Can't get any love. Looks like I have to get a new computer. I think I'm going to have to get a... Okay. Monday evening. Declining order that would impose 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. Biggest winner of the trade tariffs is likely to be the U.S. What? Again, why are they doing this? This is ridiculous. Somebody would say, okay, this CRU analyst James Campbell told in the longer term, we see through United States person that picks it up, the importer has to pay 25% more. That's not how this works. Why are people saying this BS? So people are confused. There's still people out there. If you walk on the street and they say, oh, do you know what tariffs do? And they said, yeah, it charges the other country more money. I'm like, what is going on with the education system, and what is going on with people lying for a government like we're a third world country? This is the part of the problem on why America's in its situation, because they're not dealing with reality. When you have a guy who's a CRU analyst, James Campbell, talking at the start, okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this again. In case somebody's watching this who may not know that tariffs cost you more money, let's go again. If I got to buy steel from China, China says the steel, I don't know, $500 a yard. I don't know what the steel is. I've never done anything with steel. But now all of a sudden you say it's 25% more when it hits our shores. The people that are selling it in China is selling it for, let's just call it $1,000. All right? For whatever it ends up being, 2 cords of it, whatever a cord means. I'll just use some wood type wording, but let's just say you get 2 cords, right? Or bands or whatever you want to call it, because steel comes in bands usually. But let's say you get 2 bands and they cost $1,000 from China. Fine. China ships it here to America. When you go through your import-export duty, you're going to have to pay here in the United States 25% more. So I got to give them $250 to allow it into this country. China's not paying it. That's not how this works. I have to pay it because I'm going to be selling it in the United States. So I got to, in order for it to come in, I got to give somebody 25%. That's it. I'm paying it. Now, it costs me $1,250. So when I sell that cord, I have to sell it for $1,250 or more. So do you really think I'm just going to sell it for $1,025? Hell freaking no. Or $250? Hell no. I'm going to tell somebody here in the U.S. it's $1,500 now. And whatever the United States steel cost is, which may be close to the same at this point, which is the actual situation on why you do a tariff, is because the steel in the United States costs more money. So you can't compete because the cord cost, the United States used to pay, for instance, citizens, I'm sure there's a tariff, but whatever it is, we'll just stay with zero. The $1,000, I would just go down and pick up the stuff. And so now I say, okay, let me get 25%, 30% on my money. So when it goes to the consumer or goes to the company, I charge them $1,300. So I make $300 per cord, let's say. Okay. But now the steel in the United States might only, the U.S. steel manufacturers say, oh, hey, man, we charge $1,500 a cord. And you're like, forget that. I'll just get it from China then for $1,300. Save myself some money, save my customers some money. Or I'm just going to get it for $1,000. Whatever the case may be, in my example, I get it for $1,000. See you later. So now the U.S. steel industry goes down, right? You guys can see how this plays out. This is business. U.S. steel goes down. So you have a person and a president that goes, haha, I know what I'm going to do. Since the U.S. steel companies have to charge $1,500 a cord, I'm going to charge China 25% tariffs, as an example, right? So now it costs me $12.50 versus $1,500. So in theory, now I'm considering, why would I buy Chinese steel or Japanese steel when I can buy US steel? So the person now, instead of $12.50, they say, well, we'll charge $1,400. It gets it closer to US steel versus Chinese steel. Right? Okay. So you want to play that game. So you want to know what we're going to do? Because what we're going to do is we're going to ship, if we're China, I'm shipping it to Mexico. Right? Right? Why am I going to ship it to the United States if I got to pay 25% more and I can ship it to Mexico? I don't have to pay nothing. And because this same president did a NAFTA agreement called he changed the name. Remember, there's a pause on tariffs for Mexico. So in essence, me as a importer, I'm going to tell them to ship it to Mexico. Then from Mexico, bring it up here and I get it imported for free. I don't have to pay the 25% more. And by the way, since a lot of people don't buy things from outside of the country, what you guys don't know is the same cost that they ship here is the same cost they can ship to Mexico. Right? And in fact, oftentimes, because we have a free trade agreement virtually with Mexico, I can get it through Mexico to America for the same price. It ain't going to cost me more money. How about that? So American citizens, you guys are like, oh, they're doing 25% more, which in fact, the citizens are paying 25%, well, more than 25, but we'll say 25% more for Chinese steel, which means now you're going to have to pay. Now, if you want to build something, somebody could say, well, let me just get the 1,500 US steel, right? But now the price of everything goes up for the consumer, because now instead of $1,000, you're paying $1,500, or the person is buying $1,500 steel. So now we have to sell it at a higher price, right? You guys understand this. No matter how you slice it, you're not escaping. Everything now, aluminum cans, steel cans, anything that has to deal with steel, you're putting in the roads and bridges and things like this. Now it's going to cost more. You think the United States capitalist system is going to go, hey, you know what? These guys, they get to pay $13.50 now. We're $1,500. Oh, we can raise it up to $1,600 now. And by the way, if they try to bypass the shipping, it might cost them more money. So either way, we get to charge more. So you're going to have to pay more. There's no way around it. Just like the oil companies. Does not matter. You are hearing people talk about oil prices, but nobody says anything about 2022. All-time record high profits for the oil companies. 2023, all-time record high profits for the oil company. 2024, all-time record high profits for the oil company. Why do people keep sleeping? Seriously, we're investors. You're not supposed to be sleeping out here like this. If they're making all-time record high profits, that means they're charging consumers a hell of a lot of money. It has nothing to do with competition. Has nothing to do with tariffs. But either way, you're paying more and you're sitting here acting like tariffs are going to do something. Again, you can't keep playing like this, ladies and gentlemen. Don't do this to yourself. You're out here playing games. Don't do it. Just don't do it. You got to stop this. You got to stop this out here. Got to stop it. All right. Let's see. Brian P. Hey, Eric, your emails. No, man, I didn't check my emails. I've been working on something. Basically, I got to let you guys know. You guys know I do Airbnb, right? Over the last couple years, it slowed down for me greatly. But I also, by rights, it should have. Why? Because 2024, I was supposed to be doing takeover in the Dominican Republic with the business dealings. And so I kind of slowed down, closed down, started, retreating from doing business with several of the people I used to do business with. Things have changed And so now I've had to make new friends, right? New deals with new people, and it's taken a little time because the renting by a group of people or one person who has what I need, it's slim. It has shrunk. There's been a contraction with Airbnb as far as these people like what we do, short-term rentals, and we use in my case, condo, hotel, timeshare type of properties. There's been a shrinkage because there's more people doing it, but you have less groups of people doing it because there's not enough profits for the groups like they used to be, or you got shut down or they tried to block you, right? They made new rules with their companies. So you couldn't do like a business, right? So, but I've ran into some new people. So now we're starting to get back in the flow, right? So that's one of the reasons why we had a little slowdown. But I will check my emails since you are here, Mr. Dividend, tonight. But why don't I get to this? Because I just get irritated when you have people on CNBC, and a lot of people are just ordinary citizens, OCs. And they read a guy going, unsurprisingly, the biggest winner of the trade tariffs is likely to be U.S. at the start. And I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, what are you saying? There is no at the start. How do you win? Look, and then he says, this could damage U.S. demand. That's the point. Because they're going to put a tariff on U.S. steel to counteract your tariff. So you're in a trade war. So therefore, we're the consumer nation. So by default, since we have the money here and we buy more steel, then you're going to buy, if you're China, from the U.S., now we have a trade deficit, which means more of our money is going over there instead of the other way around. So all this nonsense about how it helps the United States is just farcical, stupid, dumbassery BS. And you got the number one 6-time bankrupt dumbass and his minions who get free money in the tax cut, tax break, subsidies, government contracts. That's all free money on the taxpayers' back. So it's a double, triple, quadruple dip. You're getting taxed to pay these guys for the free things they get. Then they turn around and tell you, oh, you should put tariffs on these guys so you pay more. That's ridiculous. If you don't, I don't understand how people can't see how this is farcical. I'm sitting here watching a guy, Elon Musk, talking about this Doge stuff, and I'm seeing a guy who gets billions of dollars a year in free money on the back of taxpayers, and they're going to cut off taxpayers who need Medicaid, Medicare, insulin, and other services. This is like crazy. And then they don't turn around and pay any taxes because they get tax write-offs under our code. I lost $1 billion, as in this president. So he gets to write off for, I don't even know, 10 years, 15 years, because he takes, oh, well, I lost $50 million this year. It's a write-off because you got to go up to damn near $1 trillion, damn near. This is crazy. And then every year you're going to lose some more money on some business somewhere, somehow. So they get these write-offs and depreciation write-offs because you own property or own office buildings. So you get more depreciation so you don't end up paying taxes. It's crazy. But yet you're going to cut off other people. It's crazy to me. And people are like, yeah, rah, rah. And I'm like, dudes, what are you doing? All right. Targeting aluminum as well. So you now know your sodas, anything with aluminum cans, it's going to go up. So the reason why it's going to go up is simple, because the U.S. makers of aluminum and steel charge more in the first place. But the manufacturers buy from China because it's cheaper. Even if it's just $1 or $2 or $3 cheaper, it's still $1 or $2 or $3 cheaper. So therefore, you have to meet the price of the U.S. makers. So therefore, They're going to buy from the U.S. makers. Is that a win for citizens? Hell no. That's crazy. All right, here you go. Trump, on Sunday, he was planning on imposing these tariffs, which spurred a rally on shares of steel producers on Monday. So, Cleveland Cliffs, Nuco, U.S. Steel. So this ought to tell you exactly what the upside was. Again, I just said it. You put a tariff on China. Now, you're going to have to buy from United States citizens or companies, let's say, right? Why would there be a rally on steel producers in the U.S.? That's because they know traditionally what could happen is Cleveland Cliffs, Nuco, U.S. Steel is going to get orders, theoretically. And they charge more than China. So that means prices have to go up. I mean, come on now. I know we have a lot of smart people here. That's how this works. I know we have people watching this that are in business. So yes, that's why we're going to be losers, the American people. Anything made of aluminum is going to cost more. Watch what happens next week when you start going to the store. All right, here we go. You can see right here, U.S. steel imports have declined substantially over the past decade. Of course it has. Falling 35% between 2014 and 2025, despite a 2.5% annual uptick to 26.2. Many attribute this to tariffs introduced under Trump's first administration. Oh, some guy here on YouTube was talking about this frickin' in 2018, 2019. The same stuff. This is what I'm saying. You guys were never behind the curve. This information is ridiculous now. So now they're saying, yeah, from the tariffs to first. Again, it's the same thing. Nothing's changed. Steel production declined in U.S. and China in you think? Because the United States and other countries don't want to do infrastructure. You need steel. All right? And it cost a lot of money. That's why you would buy from China instead of U.S. U.S. can't afford, the U.S. steelmakers can't reduce their prices. Because they're in the U.S., you got to pay people. There's unions. You got to pay people almost a livable wage versus slave labor type wages of $2 or $3 or $5 or $10 a day, right? So that gives the other countries a value. But this is why America grew like it grew, because of slavery, indentured servants, and other advantages that the United States had. United States was China before in the 1800s, 1900s, because you had slave labor. A lot of immigrants came here and worked for damn near zero after slavery. So you always had low wages until World War II. And then after World War II, America became a consumer nation because the middle class grew. It's very simple. This is not very hard to track. But as with any empire, you reach a peak. So when's the peak economically? It appears to be when Reagan in 1980 to 1990, with Reagan and Bush 1, tax cut, tax breaks. You had 10 years, tax cut, tax breaks, and that was the start of the middle class downfall. So when you did that, you changed the whole dynamics of America. You gutted all of institutions, you defunded them, you took money away, and you made sure the rich got richer, and you made sure Wall Street and banks and all that were regulated less, so they were able to just pounce on the opportunities, and they basically changed the direction of America. So for the last 40 years, tax cut, tax breaks every 8 years on average, and each time it results in a slowdown, because that's how it works. You can't do tax cut, tax breaks for the rich and then make the lower class, upper middle class, upper lower class, lower middle class. You can't make them pay the tax for those guys because they make a lot more money. They have more wealth. They own the corporations. They get tax write-offs still just from the normal course of business. We don't need to enhance it. America's aluminum imports, however, risen 14% over the past decade. Pretty crazy. Brian P. says, thank you. All right. We'll go check it out. Post-retirement. Eric, spring break is around the corner. Your Airbnb business will start ramping up. Exactly. Yeah, March is already kicking off. I mean, there's so many new events that happen in America. It's crazy. I got stuff that I'm not even on the radar. People start making midweek reservations, wanting them all of a sudden. It's like, holy smokes, what's happening here? It's crazy what's happening. There's so many different events, but you're right. March is here, man. Already getting some orders for March, which is a good thing. So we're going to get out of the decline and into the driver's seat once again and be one of the top 1,000 on Airbnb sellers. But it's probably going to take me till the end of the year to get there because it's a lot of work because I have to reconnect with some people and we have different deals now. And the deals are totally different because the organizations, the companies changed the way you have to reserve or you have to pay more money. I can't even believe this. They're charging you to make reservations. A lot of these companies. This is hilarious stuff. $75, $99 to make reservations. What used to be free? You call up, I need a reservation, I want to add a guest. Now it's, you want to add a guest? Oh, that's $75 more. That's $99 more. I'm like, what the frick? This is the Wild West out here. Third world country stuff. You're like adding my name while I'm on the phone call, but you can add anybody's name and you're going to charge money to add any name. My name or anybody's name is the same. It's zero cost. That's what's so funny about this. It's wild what they're doing. Of course, that's extra money in their pocket, just like a baggage fee for the airlines, right? Extra money, but they still go out of business somehow after they get subsidies. Go figure. I'm still trying to figure out how you pay subsidies to airlines, railroad, oil, gas. You give them taxpayer money and they're making record profits or get bailed out. I'm like, you're already getting bailed out. Every year you're getting subsidies. I'm like, what more do you need? And they still get bailed out when they're in trouble. That's what cracks me up. They still get tax cuts. It's like American citizens, they don't know what the Tea Party meant. I'm talking about in Boston. I'm not talking about that raunchy little sidekick government BS that was going on like 10 years ago, calling themselves the Tea Party, when in fact they were no Tea Party. They want to pay more taxes. I don't get it. All right, let's go see what he's got talk. Oh, wait, I can't log in. Fact, that's one of the reasons I haven't been checking my email, man. I can't log in still. I have to go through my phone. Man, let's go see where my phone is here. Oh, man. I'm sorry, but let me know how Costa Rica has been, man. Let me see if I can get in this. Post-retirement travel. And oh, by the way, post-retirement travel, let me know also what's going on. If you have some footage, drone footage, I mean, where are you posting it at? Is it going to be on your Instagram channel? Do you have any pictures you're posting for the travel, post-retirement travel or anything? Let us know because you know, ladies and gentlemen, you got to go to Instagram. Follow Stop Struggling Now. Follow Post-Retirement Travel. Or go to... Oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I might have wrong stuff on screen. Okay. Go to... click on his icon if you're on YouTube. And then go subscribe to his channel. Click the all notification bell, just like you would do with Stop Struggling Now. That would be very helpful. All right. So, hold on. Oh, yeah, third-party checks again. I'm pretty sure I can't get in because I haven't gotten in a while. I have to go on my phone. So, I'll probably just go on my phone and see what you're talking about, what you sent me, because I know it's going to be a doozy. Because every time I'm seeing something that has to do with some executive at a bank or brokerage company stealing people's money, it's just ridiculous out here. It's just, it's sad. It's real sad. The investments we did a few years back, same scenario, just sickening. Just sickening. Everybody's ran off. Nobody produced anything. All of it seemingly scam. I mean, it's so sick. 953-411. Just so sick. So, yeah, I can't get in. This is just ridiculous. If I get in, then I'll talk about some things. But the stock market, you still have to be in, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, damn. Yeah, I definitely can't get in. You have to be in the stock market. There's no way around it. You got to be in the real estate game. Pretty much, you got a year and 10 months left. You're going to have to get some assets. And unfortunately, you have to get a liability such as a house. Oh my God. Are you kidding me right now? Ladies and gentlemen, check this out. Bank. Oh, man. Bank of America. This is insane. Bank of America buying $9 billion with a B. $billion of residential mortgages. Something like that. Let me see if I can pull it up. I can see it. It's on Yahoo Finance. B of A by $9 billion residential. Yep. Here it is. Let's see. MSN. Let's just go here. From Canada's TD. Are you kidding me right now? Oh, Canada's overpriced. This is insane. This is actually insane. Joe May's in the house. I see him. Joe Nay. He's making some assessments. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Another investor is here. What's good, SSN Nation, on this Monday Making Monday? How is everybody? Everybody's doing well, man. Thank you so much for being in the house. Very nice to see. But this is wild. Look at this. Oh, wait. What is this on the screen? That's not cool. Here it is. B of A to buy $9 billion residential mortgage loan from Canada's TD. Okay, that doesn't mean they didn't buy from the United States. That's crazy. $9 billion portfolio loans from Toronto Dominion Bank. Oh, TD did not immediately respond to requests for comment. This is check, mic check, mic check. We got sound back. I don't get it. I don't know why I'm losing sound. All of a sudden, it's gone. I just got the notification and I smashed the like button. Thank you so much for that. Giving to the One Piece. Everybody that's watching that, please subscribe to the channel. Click to the all notification bell if you like what we're talking about. But share the video. Now, I was getting into this spiel about how the mortgage payments and all, how it's, let's see what, looks like the states are taking it to the White House. Of course, because they found out that they effed around and found out that these guys were trying to cut all these things like FEMA, right? Somebody in North Carolina is like, wait, hold on. FEMA was supposed to send me money. What do you mean? Elon Musk said, we're not sending out any checks. What do you mean? I need my check. I'm in dire straits. What do you mean you're cutting out FEMA? What are you talking about right now? I mean, this is the wild, like, Twilight Zone out here. This is so bizarre that all these rich people are just like, yeah, you guys don't need no help. I've never contributed to any of the disasters, but I got billions of dollars, tens of billions, but no, I just can't get rid of, out of that $1 million duffel bag of cash, which is $1 billion. I just can't get rid of 50 of them. $50 million. I can't get rid of 50 out of 1,000 duffel bags of cash with $1 million in there. No, that'll leave me 950 of those $1 million duffel bags of cash. Oh, that's too much for me. No, I can't do that. I can't help ordinary citizens. But when I get to the government offices, I can make sure we cut any help for you as well. But meanwhile, I still get subsidies. I'm like, this is so sick. This is laughable. I mean, this is why I started calling what was I calling? The Joker is running the government. Lex Luthor is Doge. And then we got the Penguin. And they're running the government right now. This is hilarious stuff. I mean, you got criminals running the asylum. This is crazy. I got the notification. Just smash the like button. Thank you so much. So, again, this is why you have to pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why this is happening. This is something different. This never happened before. This is interesting. Okay. So, I don't know why this keeps happening. I keep losing the what I want to show you. That's strange. That's pretty strange. Yeah, we're going to have to do something about this. All right. Well, I guess we're not going to do anything else. Okay. So B of A, crazy. Here we go again. Somebody wise faces 2.5 million coming in hot. New automotive category. Finance news. Bitcoin backed bonds? What? Are you serious right now? Bitcoin backed bonds. Is this a joke? Hold on a second. Bonds expert predicts. No, that would be bad. People are falling ill. CFO forgot put transfer Kellogg CFO. Oh, damn, I forgot about my annual report. I guess I better get on it. Okay. Yeah, that's a problem. Couple pleads guilty. McKnight's $1.2 billion. Fraud case. Targeted nursing home patients. Wow. This is crazy. Oh my God. Nursing home. Let's see if I'll pull this up. Okay. My keys don't work. Let's see if I can get this on screen. I'm having a problem tonight. We're having a big time problem. I don't understand. I must have something turned on. Mic's going out and can't get on screens. This is crazy. Couple pleads guilty, 1.2 billion wound care. What wound care fraud? Okay, that's wound care fraud. That's interesting. McKnight's couple pleads one fraud that targeted nursing home patients February 4th, 2025. Good God. Wow. Targeted senior facilities, other care setting them to receive expensive and unnecessary wound care. Medically untrained pair contract faulty sales representatives locate evidence, including hospice patients who have staged and ordered amniotic wound grafts from a specific. This is crazy. Kickbacks totaling 279 million based on size and quantity of grafts. To 1,000 to apply for growth to implant them against judgment. See, this is crazy. And you in a third world country, but you don't know it yet. This is what happens when people do things for money. This is the whole motivating factor. They're sitting there going, "Oh, you can do it. It's all right. You can skirt the laws." This is insanity right now. This is insane. This is like a third world country. Oh, by the way, did you guys get that notice? Forget this. This is crazy in itself. This is crazy in itself. Restitution payments of 614 million. And another person, King, agreed to 605 million as restitution. Wow. This is insane. This is insane. This is insane in itself. This is crazy. All right. Oh, what was that? Oh man, what was that? Oh, damn it. What did the Trumpster do today? What did the Joker do today? Oh, this is like cray. Oh my God, I wish I could remember what it was. Oh man, I was getting ready to tell you what it was, but he did some cray stuff today. That's ridiculous. That's gonna affect people, or maybe not. But I thought it was just crazy. I'm just like, man, this is some whirlwind stuff that's going on. I just can't believe it, quite frankly. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, come on. Where is it? Oh, man, I'm not going to be able to find it. Golly, I can't do anything anymore. It's not like it used to be on social media. They done changed up stuff that you used to be able to just click on. Man, what? Exposure zone. What happened? Oh, World Trade. All right. Oh, man. Oh, come on. VA nurses in Little Rock have received letters to quit or be fired. Can you guys believe this? Can you guys believe this? This is insane. This is insane what's happening. Oh, how about getting rid of the Department of Education? And you're already like not even in the top 50 for United States for education. That is crazy. And people are in line for the Michael Jordan metallic in the ATL. It looks like there's at least 400 people. Liabilities. No, well, this could actually not be a liability. Eggs. No. All right. Oh, man. I wish I could find my own stuff. I can't. Man, oh, man. I wish I could remember this other dumbassery stuff. Okay. That's funny. Wow. Nope. Can't find it. Guess I'm not going to be able to pull it up. Oh, wait. Maybe I can. Nope, can't pull it up. Don't know where it is. No. Wait a minute. Here it is. Oh, well, this isn't the one I really care about. There's another one. Ladies and gentlemen, how about this? How about we're not going to produce pennies anymore? How about that? We're not going to produce pennies anymore. What do you think's going to happen if you don't have pennies? So that means everything is the lowest denominator is 5 cents. So here's the funniest part. All right. This is what happens when you have the trust fund kids in charge. So the penny cost about 4 cents to produce. It's a little under 4 cents. All right. The nickel costs 14 cents. All right. So if you bring everything down to the nickel, that means it's going to cost you around 14 cents to produce the nickel versus the pennies. Now, of course, you would go 5 times 4 is 20 cents for 5 pennies, but that means you're going to have to change all of your computers and round up or round down, I guess, to the 5 cents. Probably round up, but nonetheless, you're just going to pay 5 cents more. So I really don't know what to say. This is wild. This is what you're working on? Really? This is what you're working on. I swear, man. You live in a third world country but don't know it yet, but you guys are about to, you effed around and finding out right now. You got 1 year, 10 months, ladies and gentlemen, because this is February. It's February 10th. So you got 1 year and about 11 and a half months to get your assets in order and get some paper. So what do I mean by paper? If you own real estate, that means you have paper automatically, right? Because you can always get a loan against real estate, which is going to cost more in the future. No matter how you slice, it's going to cost more. You devalue currency, everything has to cost more. Whether it's worth the value or not, it's a whole nother argument altogether, because you're actually paying for the extra costs, but you don't realize it by the form of taxation, by the forms of water, sewer, and garbage, by the forms of your electric and heating bills. You're paying every month to live where you live. So that means that's an expense for that house. That means it's a liability. But again, everybody has amnesia when you start talking about, well, you paid X amount in property taxes every year for the last 10 years. How much were your property taxes over 10 years? And then somebody's like, well, they used to be 2,000. Then they went to 2,500. Then they're at 3,000. Now they're at 3,500. Not realizing you've been paying like damn near $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 per year on several years. And when you go 10 years, you're like, well, wait a minute. My average was 3 G's, say. That's 30 grand. So of course your house should be worth 30 grand more just off of the taxation part. Never mind the maintenance and upkeep and everything else. But nonetheless, this is why you have a problem, because we can't get away from it, ladies and gentlemen. This is Money Making Mondays. We're not talking about Money Making Mondays right now. We're talking about how you're going to have to keep some money in your pocket. China has developed new trains. I know. They look upside down with rails on top and the ability to see the ground, glass floor. I know. I've seen that too. I know, man. Oh, and they already make the bullet trains. So, again, they can afford the infrastructure because they are what United States used to be prior to like 1920, right? They have the cheap slave labor. So, therefore, they can build things. They can build the infrastructure. And because they're not involved in any wars, they don't have to spend $1 trillion on their military. So imagine if the United States was just like, let's say, China and spend less than $100 billion on military instead of an extra 900 billion or an extra 800 billion. Imagine all that extra money that you could use for your citizens. That would be outstanding. But the United States says, no, we got to police the world because, you know, the rest of the world doesn't like us that much, really. And we've been bullying these guys for the last 100 years because we've been holding the world currency, helping along with the IMF and the European unions and nations. So this is why BRICS has occurred. All right. But yeah, China's actually ahead technology-wise. This is the old Taiwan, Korea, Japan, up in the, like Sony and some other manufacturers in those countries that used to make electronic items so much better than American companies, and they would last forever, right? TVs and everything would last forever. And then all of a sudden, tariffs. Sorry, you can charge less and make better products. You can't sell it here. They tried to do it with the car industry. Now our car industry, because of the way America blocks competition, now look at where we are. America can't make cars that last that long. And they can't make them affordable. But for some reason, some guys out in the middle of the ocean, they can make cars more affordable to sell to the United States citizens. This is just ludicrous what's happened. Burkina Faso has developed Africa's first EV. EU says it's excellent. I know. And then you know what happened? The shakedown from the shakedown from France. This is so colonizer written all over it. They're trying to figure out how to stop this guy and figure out how they can control it. This is hilarious. This is what we do. This is what the colonizers have done all over the world. France has a big problem. Unless they can find something else to prop up and secure their economy, then I know, man. I know. Because they don't have world currency, so they can't do anything. That's why their economies are different than America, and America can always move faster than everybody else because they have world currency. Same thing. In case people don't know who we're talking about, let's go. This here is going to be one for the ages, because when they found out, these people are like, they're like, whoa, wait a minute. They don't. I'm like, I don't understand. How do you think in today's global market that anybody, as long as they're a country or sovereign nation, that they can't make an electric vehicle? Everybody knows that you can use lithium batteries. So as long as you can get lithium batteries, and as long as you can get some direct drive motors, and as long as you can hook it up, which I don't see why you wouldn't, because you should be calling even the United States techies in Silicon Valley and say, hey, come over here, man. We'll give you part of this company if you come help us do this. And then they're talking about, you guys can see it right here, charge in 30 minutes. You do realize that is the race. Charge time. Full charge time. If you can get to 10 minutes, do you know how many EVs people would sell at a reasonable price? Because it has to be reasonable, right? I mean, we're talking about direct drive motors that have been out for ages, eons, and we're talking about a floor that's going to have your electric batteries in it, and then everything else is just a car. The look of a car. It's not a car. It looks like a car. So, to me, this is crazy. Why am I on videos? Where's the news? Let's go. Okay. Yeah, and they have help. They have help, by the way. So I'm loving every bit of it. I'm here for it. I am here for it. Seeing this, as people may think, a different reason. I like seeing it because there's competition. United States used to thrive on being the best. Used to thrive on the challenges that other people are trying to compete against us. Now it's like the rich guys are running it, going, oh, we're entitled. We should win, but we don't have to do anything. As long as we show up, we're good. I'm like, man, this is why we're taking big L's, and we have nincompoops, the Joker, Lex Luthor, and the Penguin running the government. All right, first indigenous electric vehicle, unveiling its first 100%. Okay, we're going to give it credit, but that's it. Itawa. I don't know how to pronounce that. I heard it one time, but I don't know how, car manufacturer behind this innovation. Manufacture the electric vehicle entirely using local resources and expertise. Oh, that's a problem. I guess there's going to have to be a bombing sometime soon. Do it the American and European colonizer way. Somebody comes up and beats your ass. You just go, hey, don't we have some war situation down around there? We got to bomb their factory or something. Come on, do your usual BS. The car boasts impressive features, including a range of 200 miles after just a 30-minute charge. Well, that's perfect. But hey, as noted by the company, innovation is not the preserve of great powers. Is not the preserve of great powers, but that it can also germinate, grow, and radiate from the heart of the Sahel in Africa. Production plant is located in Oga, 2000. One of Burkina Faso's prime district. It results from Burkina Faso entrepreneurs' vision to transfer the country into the technological hub. Okay. This is interesting, but they don't have the infrastructure. Remember, where are their charging stations? I mean, seriously. They have models. They feature GPS navigation, Bluetooth, and solar charging. Okay, but that's the question, right? Who's going to run this? Who's going to run it? Who's going to run it? Anybody? How to invest in Burkina Faso. There you go. What stock exchange are they going to be on? Who's over there hollering at these guys? Generate energy. Getting started in Burkina. Potential investors. U.S. Embassy. There you go. Register with the U.S. Embassy. Of course, register with the U.S. I'm not going to the U.S. Embassy. Come on, stop this. Are we serious right now? All right. Investing in Burkina Faso. CIF investment is through its Forced Investment Program, FIP. That's who we go through. There we go. We go through somebody else. No, I'm not going through the United States. And I have never even been to Africa either. This is funny. This is real funny, ladies and gentlemen. I find this hilarious. Unfortunately, I can envision Western nations starting war on the African continent. Hey, this is what it was all about in North Africa. This is what it was all about in South Africa. It's any time Africa has resources to take care of itself. You know the colonizers, how they do things. Let's call it what it is. Just like in America, anytime any indigenous or black people had their own cities, own towns, and was flourishing, and they were citizens of the United States, they came and bombed. United States citizens. Put fire, torched the whole that side of town to block them. And then you turn around and say, well, you guys never did nothing. You can't do nothing. You're not that smart and all this, that, and the other. That's what's in the history books. But meanwhile, go look at the patents all by, since it's Black History Month, all by black people and even Latino, Asian people that have contributed to things that you use today. But yet they sit there and have this narrative written in history books by the winners, and they put in somebody's head that nobody can do anything. When everybody's a human, so your brain should be functioning. And does color really matter? No. That's the thing I don't understand. Everybody can be smart in their own way. Some people like other things. Some people like science. Some people like business. Some people like banking. Some people like stocks. Some people like investing. It all depends. That's their area that they study. And sometimes it takes 10, 15, 20 years to study. It's an ongoing study for everything that if you want to be great. So we'll see what happens. The Sahel has kicked all of the West out, right? Can't help to wonder what the Sahel will look like in 10 years. Well, no, I already know what's going to happen. What do you mean? Unfortunately, I can envision Western nations starting war on the African continent. That's exactly what's going to happen. Let me explain how this works. Again, I'm the guy. I am the guy. I have to keep telling people this. I have to remind people this all the time. I'm the guy. When you kick the ass of these multi-billion-dollar companies and you find a little crack, these multi-billion-dollar companies, they first try to figure out how to stop you, just whether it's threats or buyout or talk. And then they start going, okay, well, let's try to use legal stuff. So then they figure out legally how they can block you. So in our case, in the United States, they'll just say, they'll do the European way and the US way. They'll say, you can't sell that product in America. It's not safe, yada, 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 or it's part Chinese, whatever story they want to make up. And so they'll say, no, it can't be sold in America. Simple. That's all they're going to do. And without being able to sell in America, which is going to be the most prolific area that you can sell, because we're a consumer nation for EV vehicles, that people, if you found a vehicle that could be 35 grand and it was an EV that goes 200 miles and you can charge it at home, has solar, and it takes 30 minutes to charge up, and you would have a run on sales. That also means any United States EV makers are going to sell less. So they clearly are going to block them or put tariffs. Clearly, if they were able to manufacture a large sum of these things. But that, I don't think they can. I don't know. We will see. I've been to the Sahel. Really? They're going to need help with whatever they want to do. Centuries of exploitation. Jonay's got the pulse of this situation. He's been around the world. He knows what's going to happen. I can already tell you what's going to happen. It's already started. The French were like, hey, man, we need some billions of dollars. And they're like, what are you talking about right now? For what? It's like, what do you mean? I mean, it's like exploitation. It's like, get the hell out of here. I don't need your help. But now they realize, just like the gold, just like the silver, just like the diamonds, just like the oil, just like the motherland that has everything there, it's all stolen. Not only African nations, but it's from European countries, United States. The rest of the world goes there to that big ass continent and steals the resources. And they're valuable resources in a lot of cases. And they put it in the hands of a few countries, then the wealthy, and they try to make sure that nobody else can get it. They hoard it, right? So then they limit the supply to the ordinary citizens, but they also limit the supply because they are the actual manufacturing companies who extract these minerals, resources. And by extracting it, they get to keep it. That's why billionaires bought the water aquifers in America. So they can control the water. They can shut it off any time, right? They don't have to sell it if you own it. Now, if we get Lex Luthor and their characters over there where they're using it to at their advantage to put pressure on people, we'll turn off your water if you don't do this. Right? What's that one with Schwarzenegger that goes to the, all I remember is get your ass to Mars. Get your ass to Mars. Can't remember the name of that movie, but it was the same thing where the guy turned off the air. And so do what I say or I'm going to turn off the air. Okay. Meanwhile, there was a machine that creates air that he would never let anybody near because then he would lose control. They don't need him anymore and he can't control the population. I wish I could remember the name of it. It's, oh well, can't remember. But hey, my mind's, I don't really remember. Let's say, get your ass to Mars. I'll put it that way. Watch. Schwarzenegger, right? Let's see. I wish I could remember that movie. 1990. Total Recall. I just put that in. Get Your Ass to Mars. 1990. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Total Recall. That's the one. Same type of storyline that they had there with the guy on Mars controlling everybody is the same thing here in Africa. So Joe Nay knows, man. What was Sahel like? Wow. Wow. That is crazy. Never even heard of Sahel. I guess I'm pronouncing it right or wrong. I don't know. But yeah, they're going to need help. But apparently they got help. They have some vehicles. They have help. They're a startup. But people would rush down there to help them. And you know who that would be. That would be like all the major manufacturers would try to control it. And so far, they're doing the right thing. They're saying, no, I'm running this. My stuff. You can compete against me, but we're not being partners. You're not joining in this. Let's go. They already have help. Now it's just a matter of which country's going to export to. Who are they going to? So in other words, what's happening right now, I'll give you guys, the world is messed up. A lot of you guys don't understand because you don't have time to study and look at things. But the real deal is this. The reason why Elon Musk and his Tesla is anything relevant is because the United States protects him inside U.S., right? But then a lot of people don't know that the European nations, European Union, also protects him in Europe. So when he's selling stuff around the world, imagine if the country that you are selling your vehicles in is actually stopping your competitors from coming in. So of course you're going to be the number one car manufacturer for EVs. But the reality of the situation is there's other companies that are better than you that the consumer nations don't know about. Because let's face it, you can make EV vehicles in China and they can be 35, 25,000. But the problem is more than half of their population can't afford a car. And we're talking about 1 billion people. So we're talking serious 500, what is that? 500 million people can't even afford their car. That's crazy. That's crazy. And in fact, what they say is there's only like a 1% out of 1 billion people. There's like a 1% that have money that they can actually throw around. Everybody else is like living, let's call it paycheck to paycheck. It's crazy. So therefore, they have a big ass market, but they're not a consumer nation, never were. And so that's why they have to expand around the world. But the United States and the EU zone is blocking China, trying to slow them down so us and them don't buy from them. And that's why they're helping Elon on all these other on these other countries. And then people think that he's doing something. I'm just like, he's being protected. That's all. If there was open competition, if you had those $35,000 EVs from China here, it's a wrap for all the car companies here. Because then it'll be like, well, I'll go buy a $30,000 EV that can charge in 30, 40 minutes. I mean, seriously. And you have outlets. You have the infrastructure. That would be a no-brainer. You're not going to be running out here buying $100,000 EVs when you have 30, 25, 30, 35,000 EVs. With a tariff. Of course, you have to have a tariff, right? So you can block competition. All right. Here we go. The Russians are helping. Yeah, Yahweh J, that's very good. Because here's the thing. If I'm Russia, I'd have been on it day one. These guys are behind, technology-wise. So they need this stuff for their citizens, for their countries that they control. This would be like a godsend at this price point. So this is, again, one of those things. I wonder if Elon and POTUS can make a deal with the Mexican cartel. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny on all fronts. That's funny on all fronts. Oh, my God. the Joker, Lex Luthor. They can do anything in the United States because the United States has laws. We have police forces. We have Homeland Security. We have the FBI, CIA, and other national services. So they get to control our environment. Outside of the U.S., you ain't controlling You're not controlling nothing. You ain't telling no. Listen. Here's these dudes down here, right? We got these billionaires that make money from Wall Street, right? Getting free money, subsidies, Wall Street, stocks, and all this stuff, right? You got the cartel making money by killing people, by doing sex trafficking, by digging tunnels, by getting boats and doing all this other crazy stuff, buying submarines, getting military grade weaponry, and having to store billions of dollars around the world. They just don't have it tracked. Except they maim and kill people for fun. And it's over any little dispute. Your life could be in danger. And there's no or little respect. So no, these dudes, no, they're not gonna happen. They're not making no deals with no Mexican cartels. They're gonna be like, F you, I don't need you. I control everything. That's crazy. They're not gonna do that. That's why, first of all, this is why the cartels can't be stopped. Just call it what it is. Because they're already ready for war. They have weaponry. They have people. So if you want to start something, fine. You can bring in our military. Are you going to really take our military down to guerrillas? Because that's what you're dealing with. You're actually going to have to either send in planes. Because if you do ground anything, you don't have no advantage on the ground. They have the same weapons you have. Remember that Contra? The United States was selling weapons to the Contra. Remember Ollie North, who didn't go to jail? Who should have been in jail? Selling weapons to a banned country and then they're trading it for drugs? Crazy stuff, man, America does. Crazy. Crazy. So you think these guys are scared of USA military? No, they'll get killed, of course. The guys generally because the training is less than. But I'm just saying they're not afraid. They're going to shoot back, and they're going to have weaponry that can, and they have weaponry that can kill a few people. So again, they're not scared because they have to fight. In Mexican cartels had to fight the Mexican government on a daily basis. And never mind, I don't even want to get into this because this is a whole nother ball game that you're wasting money, resources, and everything on. When the fact of the matter is you should have been thinking about all these resources and all that when you guys just let the drug trade go on in America. See, that's the difference. If you could block the drug trade or the people in America from using drugs, you have to stop the demand. If you can't stop the demand, then you can't stop the cartels. It's simple as that. So all this fallacy about war on drugs and all this and all getting upset about there's fentanyl and all this, all that, I'm just like, good luck. There's no way. We have 4 open borders. And actually, we have more open than that, quite frankly. We have 4 open borders, plus you have open air. You have open sea. You have boats. I mean, come on. And since you live in a third world country, it's easy to buy off FBI, DEA, CIA people. Hell, our government is a third world country anyhow. So they work with these cartels and they allow them to bring drugs in. They're friends with them because they get intel allegedly. So they can stop somebody else. But meanwhile, this dude's bringing in 1,000 bricks a week. I'm just like, this is craziness. And they go, we're a war on drugs. They're not a war on nothing. They're a war on making money or controlling the environment. Okay, all right. I probably shouldn't even be talking about this right now. This is crazy, man. Remember, I'm California kid. There's stuff that, I mean, oh my God. Because if those boys, any tier goes into ITZ, going to be a battle. Exactly. Exactly. Exactly, man. I'm not sure if I would want to go through Gaza tunnels or go after Mexican cartels. You don't, man. You don't. It's no joke. See, let me explain something to people. A lot of people are oblivious to what actually happens. So, like for instance, I'll give you guys an example. So, you understand the West Coast of America, Arizona's, the New Mexico's, the Californias. There's a lot of desert, right? So you understand these people. If I buy land in the middle of somewhere, and it's a deeded land, on paper it looks legitimate, but underground and what my buildings or warehouses are, you're not allowed. It's guarded. So you want to shoot out over coming into my property and doing all this, whether you're the government officials or what. The government doesn't want to have anything to do with that. So what he's talking about is these tunnels and Mexican cartels is the same thing. They're already in America, set up. You know what's funny though? United States, since we're in Black History Month, United States would rather do something to Tulsa, Oklahoma, bomb black citizens, which were American citizens, because their side of town was flourishing. They'd go to Florida and 3 or 4 cities there, black cities there, where black people had land and running their businesses and minding their own business. But the majority white people said, oh, no, we can't have this. Burn their houses, run them out of town. This is the MO. But in America, the way that it was set up was if you were a certain color, you can't have weapons. You have to live on a certain part of town. When you talk about cartel and everybody else, they were not restricted. So they have weapons. They can fight you. And they can bring reinforcements. But the thing about a cartel is this. You're going to have a fight with them, right? Like you guys are thinking like one way. You go, okay, we're going to bomb whatever. We're going to shoot whoever. You know what those guys do? They go, okay, you probably are going to kill some of us, but we have a bounty on you and all of your family. So even if you kill me, your family has to look over their shoulder for the rest of their lives. That's how the cartel plays. They don't play this, we're just going to go away like how black people did or how Latin people have done and move out and forget about, oh man, we got to go. No, these dudes are like, they're checking names off a box. They're like, hey man, these dudes got bounties on their head if we die. And you better take out their family, and here's all their family members, and now you got to track all your family members. And you know, in America, your family members could live 2 miles away, 5 miles away, 100 miles away, thousands of miles away. Are you going to protect each and every one of them, your grandkids or your grandmother or your grandfather or your parents, your uncles, your aunts, your brothers, your sisters, your nieces, your nephews? No, you're not. This is why you don't play with the cartels. You don't play with Mexican cartels, South American cartels, Russians. You don't mess with none of them. Those are off limits, just so you guys know. All right, I'm telling you right now, this is one thing that I always told people when people would say, hey, Eric, we want you to meet somebody. And then when they tell me who it is, when they say it's a Russian dudes, I say, I don't want to know them. They're like, oh, they're cool. I said, I know they're cool. But I said, if we get in any beef, their first go-to is to kill the ones you love. They'll get you last. They're going to take out your families. They don't care about you. They'll just be like, all right, you get to suffer either way. So you get last. And so that's why you don't mess around with cartels and things like that. And I'll tell you guys something else. In California, they have cartel members who actually have homes in Southern California, in all these nice places people want to say they live at, right? And so there's things that happen that is just, I'm not even going to say nothing more about it. I just won't mess with these guys. The cartel is in the Mexican government. Exactly. Can POTUS just lower prices, por favor? The price of living in the U.S. is too damn high. Hey, you see how the girl moves. You see how the girl president moves, right? You see how she moves. She's like, what are you saying right now? You know, even with the Joker going, oh, we'll bring military into Mexico. They were like, what the hell? Oh, by the way, okay, we're still going to give you tariffs. I'm like, she's got some big ass cojones and I love it because she knows. She's like, oh, you're going to bring military down here? It's like, do you understand what Mexico's like? See, here's the other problem. Most people think Mexico's like LA. They think, oh, beaches, this, that, and man, it's mountains, it's desert, it's freaking bad. You seriously gonna try and trek over this stuff like Afghanistan? Come on now. That's a no-win situation. And it's home turf. All right, here we go. History blast. U.S. has not won a war since World War II. Vietnam, push. Afghanistan, Iraq was BS. I don't know what wars U.S. has been in, really, other than bombing people. I mean, we have the weaponry, and we just say we're going to bomb people. I don't know. The only people that can mess with any cartels are Hollywood, Mr. Like that. No, even him, even he can't do it. No, I don't. I advise the Mex. Okay, let me tell you guys something right now. Let me tell you guys something. Here's what's so funny that a lot of Americans don't look at. You ever see where Obama, Bush 1, Bush 2, and Trump, and now it's going to be Biden. Have you seen where the United States presidents travel after they retire? I'm asking for American citizens. You might want to pay attention because you know when you're dropping drone strikes in Yemen, Qatar, you know when you're dropping drone strikes against Gaza Strip or in Syria, in Africa, Niger, killing innocent people, some of those innocent people, they're looking for you. Go check out their travel patterns. You know why? Because in their countries around the world, our president is on the hit list. Just to give you guys an idea. You guys have no idea what's going on out here. You're thinking America's all this and that. Yeah, we are. Only because we have the mighty military, but the military can't protect innocent people. The only thing is, in America, a lot of weapons we have, but if there's going to be any incursions or anything crazy, the people that come here is going to have a lot of weaponry as well. So you have to think about this. This is why I keep saying you might want to have another piece of property in the neutral zone, right? That's why we talked about this 3, 4, 5 years ago. Why you need property outside the United States in something that's in a neutral zone that generally is not going to be in an engagement of war or looked at a threat, whether it's on either side of the world. You're no threat because you don't have any resources, right? I mean, that's pretty much it. If you don't have resources, then you don't have to worry about any of these powers coming in to take your stuff. So, just saying. All right? So this is a great conversation that I like. Just got to admit. Because we got a lot of people that are in business and they don't understand the rest of the world is doing something different than America. But there are movies out that can help you guys. The threat level on every living president is high, especially Obama. And no, it's not because he was black. Exactly, Joe Nay. Exactly. 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 Because, see, here's the thing. When we go around and we're doing those bomb strikes, they don't blame the military. They blame the president because he's ordering it, right? He's saying, yes, go ahead and do it. Kill innocent people. Just like what Netanyahu's doing. He can't roam around the countryside. He can't go to other countries without looking over his shoulder. Watch his travel patterns because of what he does in Gaza Strip. This is the same thing. All these guys run around doing all this mayhem, and then they can't go anywhere other than, yeah, stay in the U.S., maybe go to Hawaii, maybe go to, your EU zone. But trying to go in other spots, you're going in at hazardous health because you're just going in with the team. You only have a team of 50. You have an advanced team, right? Weeks before you get there, but so what? They're just checking out the landscape. But you don't have an army with you. You don't have like 500 to 1,000 with you. So at any time, anybody can do anything. So that's why these guys watch their back after they come out. They generally just stay around the United States territories and EU territories. They're not going down to visit in Mexico. Are you serious right now? They're not going down to South America, being pals. Were you serious? That ain't going to happen. They're not going to the Middle East hanging out because there's so many countries that you're on the hit list for. And remember, those guys have a lot of money. I'm just saying. This is crazy. Yep, Obama was no joke. Killing enemies. Trust me. Exactly, man. Exactly. That's why I brought it up. Exactly. Joe Nay knows. He apparently knows a lot that I know a little bit, but Joe Nay seems like he knows. Because that's the real deal. There's a lot of silent stuff going on. Obama was one of the worst guys as far as the Middle East goes. Everybody thinks what they did in Iraq with Bush too. That's also in Syria. All that whole Middle Eastern stuff that the United States has been involved in is just ridiculous. And so therefore, each president has had to deal with it. Now, the only thing is one president, which is Trump, in the first term, you know what he did? This is why this first comment was so funny that you mentioned. Where was it at? Where was it at? Where was it at? Right here. This right here is so funny because any time that there was any situation, Syria, we have our military in Syria. We give up our military bases to Syria. In Syria to Russia. Trump does, right? Okay. All right. So then the next time we're going to withdraw from Afghanistan, or Trump wants to withdraw from Afghanistan. Everybody wants to withdraw from Afghanistan, right? So instead of him talking to the Afghan government, he goes and talks to the Taliban and makes a deal with the Taliban because he doesn't want to be like, he don't want to be on the hit list. He don't want to be like, hey man, we got to take out the Taliban before we can turn this place over to you. He's like, oh hell no, Taliban, why don't you guys come over to Camp David? Until, people were like, are you serious right now? You're going to invite these dudes to Camp David, the terrorists? Seriously? And then he finally was like, oh, no, we ain't going to do that. But I'm going to make a deal with the Taliban. Hey, guys, we're going to move out in May. You're going to sign this agreement. You can't shoot any more of our military. You can't have a bounty. Meanwhile, Russia has a bounty on American soldiers. They've been paying the bounty on the killings. And then Trump says, oh, nah, I believe him. There's no bounty. None of that happened. It's all good. Does nothing to Russia. Does nothing to the Taliban. Anytime. So do you think he's going to do something to the cartel? Seriously. Let's get real. What history does he have? Mr. Bone Spurs, really? Are we serious now? All right, man. Enough of this grandstanding. This is like these guys in Hollywood that I used to tell people. I said, don't be watching. I used to tell people back in the day, I'd be like, you've been watching too much Hollywood movies, man. When people would start acting stupid, I'd be like, you watching too many Hollywood movies because this ain't how it really works. I mean, I said, you're just a civilian out here talking shit. Because otherwise, you're about to get hurt. If I thought you were serious, you would have already been hurt. You wouldn't have had enough time to talk. The cartel is the Mexican government. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Yep. Obama is no joke. Is right, man. That's how it is. All right. We're getting into some military stuff. But once again, this is why if you know things, you start being more dangerous. And when you're friends with some of these people, you start even getting even more dangerous. But the point is, what you guys believe is not what actually happens. So the propaganda that's told to you in the United States is not actually what's happening around the world. You're thinking America's loved, which we are in a lot of places. But there's like, I would say, if I had to guess and really look at the landscape, there's like half of the world that dislikes America because of the wars, the lies, the treaties you sign, and then you tear them up like they didn't exist. So it causes problems. And you actually are lying, just like when Reagan did this Iran, we don't deal with hostages and all this other BS. I mean, you want to know something that's pretty wild that should have been reported on? Did you know that Jimmy Carter was trying to save the hostages, right? Can you believe Reagan and his team is calling over to not release the hostages? Can you believe this shit? This is crazy. Unbelievable. So when that helicopter crashed in the middle of the desert and everybody's like, what the hell's going on? Right? This is what's been happening. I mean, this is crazy, man. What's that, Tehran? Did I spell it right? Did I spell it right? I think I spelled it right. 1980 October surprise theory refers to the claim that members of the presidential campaign covertly negotiated with Iranian leaders to undermine and comfort to release the 66 hostages. Expert analyzes new account of GOP deal that used Iran. Again, this is just BS for America. They did do it. And this right here, did Reagan bribe the Iranian government in 1979, 40 million payment to hold the hostages? Again, ladies and gentlemen, America's not what you think. All right? You know what's funny? You know what's funny is that when you deal in where do drugs come in at? They come in Texas. They come in the border states, right? Texas, Arizona, even New Mexico, California. And when you can pay DEA agents and you can get people across borders, once you're inside America, as long as you stay clear of police, you'll never be involved with them. Right? So you could have people, illegals, who are dangerous, that stay here all the time and come and go. And by having that, a few people get to interact with these other people, and you learn things when people are having conversations, they're talking to you, and you're like in disbelief. And you're sitting there listening to these stories, and you're just like, this can't be. And then you start looking at timelines that they said, and then next thing you know, yeah, okay. They say, yeah, they raided us, something this happened, that happened. So yeah, it's in the news and things like this later. But at first you don't hear nothing about it. Then 4 years, 5 years goes by, and it's like, this is that story that dude told me about. Right? It's crazy. It's crazy. I'll tell you guys this. I told you guys this before. I should wait till Friday night, but it's okay. I got 20 million stories to tell. But the point is, the golden, in fact, let me just pull, I don't even know what they called it, but we always called it Golden Triangle. I'll change it to Golden Asian Triangle. Let's see. Drug. Okay. Let's go Alaska. We'll do it that way. Let me see what happens if I can pull it up real quick. This thing right here is crazy. This is so crazy because the a Golden Triangle is when they were bringing drugs by boat. So let me see if this is the one. So, oh, this is not, hold on. That's not what I wanted. But nonetheless, let's see if it is. Looks like it. 1991. The Golden Triangle, region of Southeast Asia, thriving opium economy, crucial source of narcotics, Burma, China, Laos, Thailand. Opium, right? They're talking about this. Yep, that's about right. 90, that's somewhere around there. Yep, that's about right. Okay, so the Golden Triangle comes from the Southeast Asia, like they said, right? So most people are like, oh yeah, we got a war on drugs. You know, these guys went to Alaska. Alaska. They took the boats, go up to Alaska, drop it off in Alaska, and because Alaska is the state of the United States, now they can travel from Alaska into the United States. And search and seizure bypass, because they have millions of dollars, they get to pay people off because you live in a third world country. All right? So imagine that you come down through Alaska, you come through Washington, driving the 18-wheeler trucks. You drive down Highway 5, come down to Cali, or shall I say, what is it? Is it 5? Yeah, it's 5. Come down 5, go into the Bay Area where there's SFO, where there's Oakland and docks and more boats. You're inside of America, so now you can do distribution anywhere in the frickin' USA. Do you know years these guys ran this? Years. All right? It's crazy. It's crazy. All right? Now, story night, which you guys get part of the story night, and some people are not going to be hearing this, so it's a good thing because we're at 3 hours. I'm about to end this. So, there's some people walking around that used to play professional football in the Bay Area, and guess who unloaded the frickin' bags of this drug activity? You know, some guys are 250, 275 pounds, 280 pounds, 300 pounds. Because all this stuff ain't on pallets. So you have professional football players who play in the NFL. You see them on Sunday helping to offload. Okay? This is crazy stuff. And American citizens are sitting around here like oblivious. Now, you know what? They should make a movie about this. There should, in fact, is there a freaking movie about this? There should be. Because it is trackable. Because there was like 7 or 8 dudes in the US that were involved, and they were all like buddies. Unfortunately. I'll tell a story one of these days. Maybe I'll wait till the movie. Oh man, I can't read this because I got something else going on. Hold on. Got something else on my screen. Get this off. What's happening? All right. I remember that crash brought Carter down. That's right. That and the Beirut bombing put me on the path to Marines. That stuff with Reagan and the Iranians was BS. But this hate was started with the Shah friendship. Exactly. Exactly. The puppet. The Shah was the puppet for the United States. Exactly. Again, remember, people are dying in 1980 who's 5 years old, who's 10 years old. Remember, 20 years later, it's 1990s, 2000s. So remember, a little kid right now in Gaza that's watched their family get killed 18, 17, 20 years from now, you think that rage in their heart goes away? No. So now you start counting casualties. You go, okay, so you wipe out 40,000 people. But you also have 50 to 100,000 people whose families you just annihilated. So you think that they're just going to be fine, right? That they're just going to let it go. That they're just going to walk it off. That's not how it works. They have vengeance in their heart for life. And especially when the propaganda or the real situation they're hearing is do this, get revenge, do that, do this, get revenge. Your life depends on it. You get a golden ticket after life or whatever else you can say, just like we come here in the name of the Lord. Same kind of thing. So you can easily see why there's disarray around the world. Instead of everybody saying, hey, there's food here for everybody, there's water here for everybody, let's just all get along. No. People want to keep certain sections cordoned off where you don't want to make it fair for everybody. So that creates the world we live in today. And that also hurts our financial situation here in the United States because we're wasting trillions of dollars to protect our way of life because of all the dirt that has been done. It's just like in the gang territories, right? You can be an ordinary citizen. You shouldn't be walking around in the evening times like oblivious to problems, right? It's the same thing. If you have two warring factions and you're just walking around and you're not even part of it, acting like you're neutral, that's not a very good safe spot to be in. And then the people that are actually in it, they know who they're looking for. So either way, it's a dangerous situation. And that's what we're in around the world. And that causes a financial distress. And when you have a nation in decline, we can't keep spending all this money. So if you saw, what's that movie? Snake Plissken. Can't remember the name of it. Russell's in it. The Bronx. What was the first one? The Bronx. And then the next one was something else. But anyhow, enough. I'll leave this tonight. It's been 3 hours. All right. Friday night, story night. I'll see you guys then. I didn't want to get into this about the Westside thing. I'm sorry. Sorry I couldn't talk about that more. But I'm going to make a video tomorrow about Westside. So everybody can find out what's going on with all these people. There's more people. There's at least 5 people, 6 people in these news broadcasts. And if I can find the Noria Piera one, then that would even maybe make it 10 people to make it a little more serious. And we haven't even gotten into anything else that these guys have done wrong at the beach, because I'm pretty sure there's lawsuits there, right? Because some people were supposed to have delivery in 2022 and 2021, which some people probably have if you're in the first 7 or 8 buildings. But it's not because of what they did. Somebody else must have finished it up. All right. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for being here once again. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here, and that's why you have to think about what the world is doing. I don't mean to stress people, but the world isn't what you think it is, and at any time there could be an implosion on your life. So therefore, if it's not going to be the United States being able to be who they have been, and they start declining, then you should think as a person, as a corporation, yourself, you should be thinking about, hey, what options do I have, or create those options for you. It's the simplest thing you can do. So put yourself safe. I know it's hard out here. In 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck during the month. So that's a lot of money. It's hard to save, right? So we'll see what happens. But prepare. You have to invest. But you can't be throwing your money away anymore. Taking these high risk, high reward situations, like even when we were doing the pre-construction, it didn't appear to be high risk until pandemic comes. Then after pandemic, it's 3 years after the fact, and people are still using that as an excuse, as like there was a pandemic. And I'm like, well, you were supposed to build in 2.5, 3 years anyhow. It's 3 years after that. So it can't be that. So it's kind of crazy. But nonetheless, we all have to take chances with our future financially, because it's going to cost more money in the future. Like right now, steel and aluminum is going to be 25% more. That means anything that uses those items is going to cost more. It's still probably going to be within the range of 25% or higher, because it's going to get closer to US steel. And so is somebody going to pay $1,400 for Chinese or some Asian steel, or $1,500 per, I'll use cord for lumber, for wood. I don't know what steel band, aluminum bands, whatever. But the point is, you're going to be paying more at the grocery store, at anything that uses those items. It's across the board. Cell phones and all this stuff have steel and aluminum in them. So think about this. This is going to cost more money. So you have your food costing more. You have items with the steel and aluminum costing more. And gas is going to cost more. Transportation cost is going to cost more, which means everything else is going to, it's just a snowball effect running downhill. It's just a little ball right now. But in about a year and a half, it's going to be a big ass snowball rolling downhill, and nobody can stop it. The feds can't stop it. Nobody can stop it. You're going to devalue the currency. It's going to be very, very bad. So with all that in mind, just make sure you stay safe out here, because again, you don't know what's going to happen at any given time, because with threats to other countries, you don't know if another country is going to get pissed and do something stupid. Which, is it stupid from their perspective? I don't know. But all I'm saying is, any activities with war involved or any conflicts, that means there's going to be a problem. That hurts the ecosystem from around the world. So just keep all that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. And with all that said, make sure you keep your head up. Keep moving. And I'm out.